Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to this, your first reading of 2024. Oh my goodness, I can't believe we're actually here. All right, before we get started, a couple of announcements. For those of you who are new here, thank you so much for trusting and clicking on this video. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for continuing to support my channel. Before we dive into any reading, first of all, please excuse my coloring. It's the background wall as well. It snowed and the sun came out and I'm being washed out. And yeah, I just can't get my lighting right today. So please excuse my coloring. I am not ill in any way, shape, or form. It's fine. All right, what else? I do not edit my videos. So for those of you who are new here, if I trip over my words, if I throw a card across the room and have to go get it, oh well. But else. So Happy New Year. Now, there is some controversy with regards to wishing people Happy New Year at this time of the year. There is the belief that we should be on a 13-month calendar system rather than 12 months. And I am well aware and well versed in that. However, unfortunately, this is the calendar. The 12-month calendar is the calendar that the vast majority of the world observes. So Happy New Year. And also, this is my exciting time of the year. From now until January 15th, I currently have on sale my once a year annual special. I only offer this type of reading and this discount once a year. And it is a 13 card reading that will give you a personalized overview of 2024, including a card pulled for each month in 2024, as well as an anchor card tying the whole reading together. This is a live reading with me on a live Zoom call. There's interaction. You can ask questions. I will answer your questions. This is not a pre-recorded video, and this is not an emailed reading to you. You get all of this for $90 Canadian. My regular rates are $100 for 45 minutes. This is $90 for 1 hour. It is $90 Canadian. So for those of you who happen to be in the United States, in the UK, in the EU, anywhere else that happens to have a currency that has more value than the Canadian dollar, this is an absolute fantastic deal for you guys because it doesn't matter where you're from, it's in Canadian dollars. All right, let's jump into your reading, Sagittarius. Now, the last time I did a reading for you, I did a reading covering the time frame from December 15th to December 31st, 2023, and the reading showed that you had some tower moments possibly coming up, but those tower moments were going to lead you into wish fulfilled and more abundance. But there was definitely a shift in the direction that your life was taking, and it was likely to be unexpected. Now, you may have already experienced the tower moment and be heading down that new road, or maybe the tower moment hasn't exactly arrived for you yet, but let's dive in and start pulling some cards. Oh, that's the other one. I have one more announcement. Make sure you watch until the end of the video because I do have a new deck. So think of a yes, no question that you need answered. I have a new deck and all of the cards in it relate to yes or no answers, various wordings for yes, no, some of them, over the top yeses, some of them very subtle yeses and nos as well. And so at the end of each of my videos from now going forward, I'm going to be doing yes, no questions at the end. So if you do have a yes, no question that you are seeking some guidance from the universe on, please think of your question and we'll get to those at the very end. All right. Not sure if that one's meant to come out. I think it is. Okay. Where are the Sagittarius at now? New vision, clinging to the past, and conditioning. It's interesting that you have 2 major arcana in this first draw, and you have this card. So let's start with this card. This card is clinging to the past. It corresponds to the Five of Cups. Now, the Five of Cups card in the traditional tarot is depicted with a character looking very sad, looking down over top of three cups that have clearly spilled their contents all over. This is what I like to call the crying over spilled milk card, because the character is really mourning the loss of the three cups on the ground in front of him, while not realizing that there are two more cups directly behind the character that are overflowing with abundance. So sometimes what happens is we have to wake up and look around. You getting this card in your where you are at now here as I do this reading for you at the end of December, following your last reading, which of course had the Tower card in it. This card is telling me that probably most of you have experienced some kind of Tower moment within the last, probably I want to say about 18 days or so. And so there is this desire on your part to cling to the past, to look to the past, to cry over spilled milk. But you're being asked not to do that. You are being asked to do the two things that came up in these two major arcana cards. What are those two things? Well, the first one is see things from a different perspective. This card corresponds to the Hanged Man, and in this particular deck, it's called the New Vision card. This card is all about being able to see things from a different perspective. So instead of seeing things through the lens of the past, and instead of only looking at the spilled milk that's directly in front of you, this card is saying, wake up and look around, because the reason that you had a Tower moment was because there was an opportunity that you had not seen previously, and you needed the Tower moment in order to be able to see this new, fresh, exciting opportunity. This card is all about look around you. There are opportunities. This card is about look around you. There are opportunities. And this card corresponds to the Devil from the traditional tarot. What does the Devil ask us to do? Well, the Devil asks us to have a look at our conditioning, have a look at our egos, and have a look at our attachment to material goods. The vast majority of us, when we experience a Tower moment, there is a loss of material goods, or the attachment to material goods somehow, some way is torn out from underneath us. And it feels like the rug is being pulled out from underneath us. And this card asks us, Sagittarius, to explore our relationship with material goods, our conditioning to material goods, our attachment to material goods, and come up with a different perspective on it. The other thing that's coming up for me really strongly, and although it's not specifically in these cards, is I'm getting the sense that for many of you, because of this Tower moment, because of the clinging to the past, because the Devil card's coming out and so on, for many of you, there's a mourning that's going on, a mourning of the past, a mourning of what you've lost, but there is also a turning away from gratitude, or a gratitude practice. And I can tell you that turning away from gratitude in a moment when you think that everything is going against you is actually counterintuitive. That's actually the exact opposite of what we need to do in that moment. So if you don't already have a gratitude practice, develop one, because it will pull you out of this moment. I also want to point out that we may see some other cards that come up in your reading here in the next few minutes regarding cycles, and phases that we all go through. I'm not, no guarantees, but I am sensing that or I'm being called upon to remind you that everything that we experience is a cycle or a phase. Okay. If you don't already have a gratitude practice, here's a very easy one for you. Twice a day, absolutely every day of the year, we go to sleep and we wake up. Those moments between being awake and being asleep, and being asleep and being awake, the in between, that is hypnosis. Believe it or not, you actually experience twice a day a state of hypnosis. The vast majority of us, first of all, don't know that. And secondly, don't put that to good use. Here's a trick. This is a self-hypnosis method. Come up with a mantra that you love. A mantra of gratitude, a mantra, I don't know. Let's go. I am healthy and strong. My body is beautiful. I love my body. I am healthy and strong. And you go back and forth on your fingers like this. And you say the mantra. And it can be the same mantra every time. I love my body. I love my body. I love my body. I love my body. And you go back and forth. And I'm telling you, Sagittarius, this is an absolute game changer. I teach this in classes. I charge to teach this. Here, this is a freebie for you. This technique, practice gratitude. I am so grateful that I have everything I need in my life in this moment. It might not be everything you want. Here's the thing. This little character here, sorry, my computer just decided to do something. This character here, the devil, the conditioning card, he's going to tell you that you need to live in a life of lack because you don't have all the material goods that your neighbor does. The devil's a liar. Okay. And when you recognize and are grateful for what you do have rather than craving and coveting what your neighbor has, that's when the magic happens. So start a practice, a gratitude practice right away, Sagittarius. It's going to move mountains for you, I promise. Okay. What is Sagittarius focusing on moving into the new year? What are they putting front and center? We know that what we focus on grows in our lives. If we focus on negativity, we're going to manifest negativity. If we focus positivity, we're going to manifest positivity. So let's see what comes up. 10 of Swords, 10 of Cups, and the Page of Cups. Interesting. Really interesting. Okay, let's start with the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is a somewhat naive, little bit immature, very impulsive character who has a tendency to come in and sweep us off our feet. What's that telling me for what you are focusing on, Sagittarius? That there is a little bit of a naive belief system that the faster you can move out of this discomfort, out of this situation, the faster you can move out of it and sweep yourself off your feet, the better. I'm here to tell you, unfortunately, that's not reality. And that's not the best way of handling it. But you also have the 10 of Cups here, and you have the 10 of Swords. 10 of Cups is similar to a wish fulfilled. 10 of Cups is about basically manifesting all that you want and that you desire, and that you have the capacity to do so. And you know you have the capacity to do so. And that's why this card came up in your focus, because this is what you're focusing on creating. The difference is that you can't create it quite as quickly as what you want. So if that makes sense. So this Page of Cups coming in here, just remember, okay. For those of you who don't know me, I'm also clairaudient, and I'm getting an audible download right now, which is saying in relation to this card and in relation to manifesting with this 10 of Cups, easy come, easy go. That's the audible download that I just got. Okay. You're working towards manifesting your dream life in a huge way with this 10 of cups and achieving everything that your little hearts could ever desire. And you're doing so with the devil in mind and making sure that everything that you want and desire is not just about material goods, but it's also about the people and the places that we have in our lives. But you are trying to rush the process with this Page of Cups. And the audible download was, don't try and rush it. Good things come to those who wait. Easy come, easy go. In order to be able to achieve that which you want to manifest and desire, there is something you're going to have to do first. You're going to have to walk away from that which no longer serves your highest good. There is something, Sagittarius, that you're going to have to walk away from. And you already know what that is. Otherwise, you would not have this card in your current focus. But there is absolutely something that you need to walk away from. And it's going to feel like it's work and that it's a burden. And yet it's necessary in order to be able to move into this 10 of Cups. Let's have a look at your difficult influences and challenges. Difficult influences and challenges for Sagittarius, first half of January. I might have to go through this a second time. Not sure. Yeah, definitely going to have to. Sometimes you can sense that the card that was meant to come out, you passed right by it. And I think that's exactly what happens here. Okay, difficult influences. There we go. Oh, and that one's on the floor. Difficult influences and challenges for Sagittarius. And there's another one, and it's on the floor as well. Okay. Let's get your cards off the floor. Okay. Difficult influences. You have the Lovers in your difficult influences. Sorry about the reflection. These are reflective cards. So with my current lighting, it's a little difficult today, but you have the Lovers. The Lovers card is generally about the beginning of a new relationship, typically a romantic relationship. And for those who are already in existing romantic relationships and are not looking to change partners, it could be indicating the change or a shift in the dynamic of the relationship. But this is coming up in your difficult influences. So it may be indicating that the tower moment that you experienced, Sagittarius, was related to your romantic relationships. And it's in your difficult influences here, indicating that from January 1st through the 15th, be what's the word? Be conscientious in your interactions in your relationships. And this goes beyond romantic relationships as well, in that just relationships in general right now, because this is in your difficult influences, require more TLC, a little bit more energy than normal. And you also have the Eight of Wands in your difficult influences. And the Eight of Wands indicates the possibility of travel or some kind of journey. But the Eight of Wands also indicates that things are kind of coming to you in rapid succession very, very quickly. And that may be leading you to feel exhausted and overwhelmed. Okay. But with all these other cards that I'm seeing here, Sagittarius, with you working towards manifesting a 10 of cups, oh my. Those are lofty goals. Those are amazing goals. But you do have to a certain degree, kind of get over yourself right now. Get over some of your old belief systems. Start to see things from a different perspective. Begin a gratitude. I'm getting it again. It's coming as a download. Begin a gratitude practice right away. All right. Messages that the universe wants you to hear at this time, Sagittarius. Are those going to fall? I'm not sure. Okay. I don't even know what to do with these. I've got 3 cards that kind of fell. These are your cards. I wasn't sure, but these are definitely your cards. All right. Remember what I said? You are never alone. There are people helping you. The fact that you are even watching this video tells me that you know a whole lot more about energetic work in the unseen world, and you are never alone. Give without expectation. I like this card, especially, given the season that we've just moved through. Yeah, give without expectation. And finally, the reason that I know that these were your cards is I'll just show you the card. Have an attitude of gratitude. If you want to manifest this, if you want to improve this, if you want to be able to get this guy out of your life, this is the way you're going to have to go about it. Having an attitude of gratitude. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look at what is unexpected for you. Where are we going for that? Because I just picked up one deck and I got a hard no on that. Where are we going for unexpected? Oh, we're going back over here to the light seers. Unexpected. 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 We have the Chariot. The Chariot coming in. So the Chariot, the Chariot is an interesting card. The Chariot indicates that there is something good and it is literally racing toward you. In all likelihood, it has something to do with this 10 of Cups here and what you are working towards manifesting, something bright, big, beautiful. But the Chariot also indicates that there's a decision that you need to make. And the decision you need to make is a little bit based on some morality. See how you have both a black horse and a white horse pulling the chariot? The black horse and the white horse pulling the chariot are an indication that there are positive and negative influences surrounding you right now, and you have a decision or a choice that you need to make. And I do want to point out as well with this devil card, it's exactly the same thing where you have a moral choice or decision to make with regards to your relationship with the material world. And as well, one of the other little descriptions I like to give when the conditioning or devil card comes up is many of you will recall the old cartoons that we used to have where you'd have a little devil and a little angel sitting on the cartoon character's shoulders, and the devil would say, "Go do it. You have to go do it," and go be mean to someone. And the angel's like, "Don't do it. Don't do it." Okay. And so both of these cards are indicating that there is a choice that you need to make before this 10 of Cups is going to be able to come racing towards you on the chariot. And that choice is moral. It's a question of right and wrong. And that is your unexpected. All right. Where are we going for your final general overall outcome? Now we're going over to this deck that I had grabbed before. All right. Final general overall outcome, and then we'll get to your yes or no question. Final general overall outcome for Sagittarius. That one's on the floor. Okay, so 2 cards, one of which is on the deck, on the floor. Okay. I'm laughing and giggling to myself here, Sagittarius. I do apologize. When working with the tarot, even psychics and tarot readers are sometimes shocked and surprised by the cards. So I'm going to go back to the very beginning of your reading. And oops, I just dropped a card on the floor. I'm going to go back to the very beginning of your reading when I talked about these first three cards, the clinging to the past card, the hanged man or new vision card, and the devil or conditioning card. And at that time, before I even moved into the cards of focus for you, I had mentioned I was not going to be surprised if I saw a card come out that indicated we were dealing with cycles and phases, and reminding you, Sagittarius, that even though it may seem like a really difficult time that you're going through, it is a stage or a phase, and you got the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups not only represents celebration and camaraderie, but it also represents phases and stages. The three women on the Three of Cups represent the three stages or phases that a woman goes through in her life, going from the maiden to the goddess to the crone. That's what this card reminds us of. And it was specifically the Three of Cups that I was thinking of when I made that comment at the beginning of your video, that I wouldn't be surprised if we saw either the moon or another card that represented stages and phases. And this is the card, the Three of Cups. You are being reminded right now, Sagittarius, that whatever you are going through is a stage or a phase. And now, the very last card in your reading. This is your 10 of Cups. This came up in, I'm focusing on this. This is what I'm working on manifesting. And your final general overall outcome, unfortunately, it's not going to come into focus. Maybe it will, is the 10 of Cups. How do you like that? What more can I say? I've already said so much about the positivity of manifesting 10 of Cups into your life. And your final card is the 10 of Cups. Positive outcome. All right. Sagittarius, please begin to think of a yes, no question that you have been sitting on the fence about. Oh, do you have one? I would say so. With this chariot here, you absolutely have some questions that need answers, and along with this devil and conditioning card. But think of your question. You may want to close your eyes. Repeat the question 3 times quietly in your mind. I am currently shuffling the cards, and let's see what comes out for you, Sagittarius. In relation to your yes, no question, here is your response. No need to worry. No need to worry. Okay. Sagittarius, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here, watching all the way to the end. If this video resonated for you, please consider hitting that like button. It really does help me to grow the channel. Also, try subscribing so that you'll get a notification the next time I post. And final reminder, by the time I release my next videos, the annual 13 card special will no longer be available. So if you would like to book that 13 card reading, you're going to have to click on the link down below. Thank you so much, Sagittarius.